The tires that I use are...
Hello folks, welcome to Netcruizer's November vlog. Nearing mid-November, and it's kind of the most depressing time of the year for me because the time change has just happened. So now it'll be getting dark around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's currently 1 in the afternoon right now, and it's time for me to do the seasonal changeover on the vehicles. Get rid of the summers, unfortunately. Got to put the winters on. I've already done it to the Tiguan. So the Tiguan's done, I got the winters on the Tiguan. So I still have to put my van away. I haven't put the Vanagon away yet. And I got to do the changeover on my GTI. So I do my own seasonal changeover. I have all the equipment and tools to do it. So I'll just go into the garage here. And we'll go and get the stuff. All right, tires. So let me get this stuff. Very important for safety. You want to have a jack stand. I've got my crappy little Canadian Tire jack. I've got my winter tires. I have a 1/2 inch breaker bar, 17mm socket, and that's all you need to get started. I also have a torque wrench, but the the torque wrench is at the very end. Now the reason why I can do this myself is because I have my tires, my winters already on different rims. If I didn't, I would have to go take it somewhere to get the tires mounted and stuff, but I've got these nice 18s. I would never run those in the winter. So let me go get my winters.
The tires that I use are actually Nokian all-weather, so I could run these all year round, but I choose not to because I really like the summer look of these rims. But these are 17-inch, no, these are 16-inch. Nokian WRG2s that I've had since 2012 maybe, and they're in excellent shape. I'll show you a close-up of the tread later.
So here's the tread pattern on these Nokian WRG2s. You can see where half of it is a little pattern, the other half is normal all season, and it's a combined tread in a special compound that does not wear out in the summer. So you can run these all year round if you wanted to, but I choose not to. Also, they are non-directional, so I can do a full rotation. These were on the right front, so now I'm going to put it on the left rear, and the same for all of them. Swap them completely around. Now the Volkswagens have little plastic caps over their nuts, and you need this tool, which is in the back of your trunk on all modern Volkswagens. You could use just a clothes hanger or something, but this does work best. And you just get into the holes and you just pop them out. And they're just little plastic nut covers, and if you have a keyed nut, there's a special one, but you just keep those and then you put them back on your old rims when you're done. Now I choose to get the jack in position under the car first before I start loosening off any bolts. So what you're looking for when you're doing it yourself with just a crappy home jack is there's a little indicator, which you probably can't see, but there's a little indicator here on the skirting, and you line up your jack under there. It'll be too dark in there to show with the camera, but it's where the weld is doubled up, and you want to line up your jack with that. And then just for some added protection, I use just a piece of cardboard. I put that on top of the jack so that it doesn't rip off all of the undercoating, and Volkswagens have like this type of rough spray on all the undercoating, so just try and keep that intact. Get it into position, put a little bit of pressure on without lifting the car so the jack is ready, and then I'll loosen off the nuts. All right, so now I'm in the position. I'm just gonna raise it slightly, just ever so slightly. Not lifting the car up yet. And I'm gonna take my 17mm socket with breaker bar and loosen off all the nuts. And if they were torqued down to the proper torque, they should be easily breakable with a bar. I don't use any kind of power tools. I used to, and it turns out that it's the bar is a much more efficient way to do it. I just did that in, 10 seconds. Now I can raise the car. Okay, and we're off the ground. Now at this point,
At this point, with the vehicle raised, I should be finding a spot to put this support jack just as a safety measure, so that if the car did fall off the jack, it wouldn't crush me. At this point, everything's very loose. Holding the wheel on with my foot while I undo the last bolt, because these are bolts, right? They're not there's no studs, so as soon as I let go here, the wheel pretty much falls right off on its own. You can just set that aside, and then we're ready to service this area before I put the new one on. What I like to do is just give a coating of like a rust protection around all of the shocks and stuff, and all of the bushing. Using this stuff, it's called Rust Cure. What is it? Formula 3000 Rust Cure. You can get it from Canadian Tire, TSC, a lot of different places. It comes in spray can. You can get it in giant stuff for doing tractors and military equipment. The military in Canada tested this and they proved it to be the best rust preventative chemical that you can buy. And it also sticks like a gel, and it's better than Crown. So you won't really be able to see what I'm doing, but while I have it open in here, I get in here with my Rust Cure stuff and I just spray down any kind of bushing or connecting joint or metal, and I do all behind the brakes and the bolts and stuff, and I get it all rust cured up before I put the winters on. Now I've done my rust cure spray and it's time to put on the winter rim. So we'll just get the winter into position. And I've got my bolt on the 17 mil socket. I just get it started with my hand. So get it lined up. Now in some cases you do have to raise up the car a little bit because it's settled on me, so I have to raise up the car. Line up your bolt holes. You just hold it there with your foot and your hand and get a bolt started. Then when all the threads are started nicely and just starting to snug up, I do put my, while it's still in the air, I do put my bar on and just give it a little twist until it starts to snug up. This one was loosest because it's the one that I put on first. So I just go until they start to snug. Then you can put the car down. So I released the lock on my jack. Make sure you pull out your jack stand if you haven't already. And let it down slowly. If you have a quick release or whatever, just let it off slowly so it doesn't slam down on the ground. The next thing would be check for the air pressure. Torque the nuts down, which I'll go get a torque wrench and show you that after. But I'm just making sure they're all snug. Just lightly, just having a little bit of pressure on them. And got my torque wrench. So this is just a Power Fist. It's like a Harbor Freight Princess Auto in Canada torque wrench. It's currently set on 100 foot-pounds. And you just pop your socket onto your torque wrench, make sure it's set on the proper setting. And you torque it till it clicks. Click. Click. That's all there is to it. And then pop your little caps back on. And then at this point, all that's left to do is to check to make sure your tire pressure is good. Put the center cap, Volkswagen logo on. And then once you get them all done, you have to go into the computer and reset the computer to tell it that you've reset your air pressures on your tires. Some people say they like to put anti-seize on the bolts. I never do. Next I would put some of that rust cure stuff on the bolt if it's starting to look pretty rusty. That's about it. I don't use anti-seize, and I've never had them lock up on me or have a problem with them. And then that's it really. So
just like $100 worth of equipment, and you keep using it year after year after year. So once you get through about 1 season, it almost pays for itself. 2 seasons absolutely pays for itself. It's just effort. It takes less than an hour to do the whole car, so whatever. It's I like the satisfaction of working on my own vehicles, and then I know what it looks like and I know what's been done. All right, all the winters are on. Now what I like to do is pump them up with a little portable compressor. You can use the 12-volt air pumps. It just takes a heck of a lot longer. So you want to, you need to get your air pressure up to the manufacturer recommended specs, which on my car is just 37 PSI front and rear. I found that this is by far the best solution. Just get a little compressor, get a nice air gun for your compressor, something with a gauge on it, and it takes just a few seconds. And I'm not plugged into power right now either, so it right now has 32. I want to get it up to 37. 36.4. 37. And then when I run out of enough pressure to do that with my compressor, I just go plug it in and get more pressure into it. Carry on, finish up the rest of the tires. Now, center caps. Let's pop all the center caps on. I also went around and moved all of my marking stickers onto all of the wheels. So I've got them marked for next year. This is where they came off from, so I know to put them in the opposite position next year. Now, I just got to put my summers away, and I got to do the computer reset. So I'll show you that. I'll show you the computer. Every car will be different. I'll show you on this one. So this mine has a car menu. I have to wait for it to boot up. Where's the modes? View. I have to change view mode to vehicle status. Set up tires. Yeah, tires. Set pressure monitoring. Set. Do all 4 pressures comply? Yes. Pressures have been stored. Done. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming along with me with my November vlog and seeing how I do my winter maintenance. Setting it's 2:30, so we got an hour and a half left of daylight. Maybe I'll show you some nice fancy sunset. See you next month. December, last month. I'll try and do something cool for December, but I don't know what yet. Actually, I think for December, what I need to do is show you all of the RCs that I own. Complete fleet of my 2017 RC collection. And yeah, that'll be a good way to round out the year and onwards to 2018 for next month. Take care. Thanks for watching.